This episode is brought to you by Carvana. A date night, falling down an internet rabbit hole, that hobby you can't tell the neighbors about. Your time's valuable, and Carvana knows it. With Carvana, you can get an offer, sell your car, and get it gone 100% online. You shouldn't have to choose between time and money, so don't. Availability may vary by market. To get started, visit Carvana.com or download the app.
I love the smell of salt water in the air.
And the warm glow of the sun kissing your cheeks.
This is so relaxing. I wish this could never end.
Me too. Oh well.
Hey, give me my homework back.
Stop touching me.
You stop touching me. Dad.
Coastal Morning, one of 3 exclusive rejuvenation moods from Lincoln, designed to enhance your state of mind with choreographed experiences of scent, light, music, and even massage. Learn more about the future of Sanctuary at Lincoln.com.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby. You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin Betts, baby. Well, welcome everybody again to Benjamin Betts, the sports betting show where we lay down 100, or in case of this past week, hundreds of dollars worth of bets in order to win money for charity. I am Jared, and my co-host and best friend with me, Corey Dickman. Corey, it's been a frustrating morning.
Oh, awful. I mean, and I know we talk about the creditors come and go. They're really calling. I had to turn my phone off this morning. Really at about the third quarter mark of the New England Bears game, where it became evident that New England was not going to cover, and people are very mad right now.
Well, I got a text at the beginning of the game. I think it was like 10-0, and it was F it, screw this, and then all of a sudden it was 10-14, and we were covering because we were at -3, and then literally 23 Bears points later, that game was over.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, get Mac Jones out of there. I want that third stringer kid that's just slinging the ball around.
Yeah, well, and that sucked because, we were texting, and you said, put the kid in. Where's Zappy? And then almost on cue, like the great coach Bill Belichick heard you. He put Zappy in, and, man, it was boom, boom, 2 touchdowns. I was like, man, we Gucci. We're going to hit this.
Yeah.
We're fine. They're up 14-10. There's no way the Bears are going to start putting up points in New England right now. And then, man, just the wheels fell off. And then Zappy, I think he had like 3 turnovers after that. And
it was a mess. It was you always talk about parity. It was a week of parity. I can't tell if we're witnessing the end of an era in terms of Rodgers and Brady. Yeah. It's so hard to count those guys out.
Yeah.
But amidst all of that parity, last week we went 4-2.
4-2. That's great. We were at 66%. That's awesome.
Great. So good week for us in terms of our regular bets. Where did we get screwed? Oh, the Indianapolis Titans game. We took the over.
Yeah, never again. I'm glad that they're not playing each other anymore this year because I will never bet a Colts Titans
that
game
matchup
ever. I'm done. I'm retired. I hate it.
And then what else? What else did we lose out on?
Mike's giving the thumbs up. But his Titans did win, so we just wanted points, man. I'm fine with the Titans win.
We needed that, and I apologize. I think I played a role into this because I was texting you thinking that we had took the under. So when they were kicking field goals, I was like, "This is great!"
Well, and Jared, this is how sad it was. I was like, "You're right. Give me 3 points." Because the way that those teams play, there's some pick in the end zone or some fumble at the goal line. So I'm like, let's just take 3. Let's take the 3, and we will build to 43 points in this game. So I genuinely thought you were like on the same page as me. So that's how.
Our jujus were not aligning. I'll be better about this week.
Yeah.
The other things I want to talk about is we had success in a lot of other areas this past week that I think it bears worth talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
You started your NBA betting.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that you were such a high roller. Benjamin Betts now literally becomes Benjamin Betts because you play 6 different bets, one every night, I believe. Or there may have been a double night. I can't remember.
No.
But you went 5-1 on these 2-team parlay teasers,
Mm.
and the only one that you got screwed over was
Oh.
you missed something by a point, half a point on that Utah game. But
Yeah.
our FanDuel account is looking fatty right now. It's like I've never seen it like this. It's looking real good. You got a gift, my friend.
You know, NFL season is fun and it's a hobby and it's something we all enjoy. NBA is business, Jared. It's a job. It's a job. I do a lot of homework for these matchups. I watch a lot of the highlights. Like NFL, I love NFL, and it's about fantasy, and we get into. But this year has been a weird NFL year, in my opinion. But yeah, NBA, we're not messing around. The family's involved. Lauren, my baby, everyone's watching. We all know. Don't get too upset. Like, we're analyzing stuff. It's a family affair for NBA 2-team teasers. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
it was.
You
New
need to be
Orleans.
following Corey on Twitter when he posts it on time.
I know.
Because if you would be, you'd be a very rich individual right now. Very rich.
I'm really hoping our 2 listeners from Vegas that listen to our NFL stuff that are like our high rollers, because we know there are a couple. Maybe they're jumping on the NBA wagon right now. And if they have a DraftKings account, they could have been betting LCS with League, and they'd be 4-0 right now too, listening to what you said.
I was hot. Now, I want to be clear. I got the winners of every single match correct. I got none of the in how many matches correct.
Yeah, semantics.
It was, but we'll talk at the end, but we've got the semifinals this week. But that's what I want to do. That's how I kind of want to lay the episode out is let's do our usual football. Let's talk when we get to NBA, because you do go day to day. Let's talk some teams and kind of what you're looking at and some process there, because I know we were joking last night about, Philly and the Spurs and all of these different things. So let's talk about that. And let's briefly touch on esports on our way out. So I will kick it to you. I think we're back above 60% with our overs, our unders, our spreads. Where do you want to start the NFL week this week?
You're good. I just ran the numbers. We're at 60%.
Okay, beautiful.
So we're back
at 60%.
Yeah, I got the call just a minute ago from Raul over at Caesars. He says our room is ready again.
He wants us back.
Yeah, so I told him we're recording, but we're on our way. So he's good, and he also was asking me where what are you feeling, Corey? And where I want to start right here. I think this is a little risky one, but this is where I think things are going, and I want the under 47.5. Raiders at Saints. Now,
that is super risky, because I was going to push you to do the over in that game.
I am tired of overs unless there's a K and a C involved in the matchup. I think their Thursday night game was an anomaly. There was like 70 points scored in that Saints-Cardinals game, but most of them were like, oh, let's throw a pick six. Oh, then let's throw another pick six. Like it just was odd. I think back at home with the Saints, I think this is going to be a different kind of game. And I know the Raiders have a good offense too, but I just envision this not being a big shootout in New Orleans.
Okay, so we're mucking it up down in the swamp.
We're mucking it up. Jacobs for the Raiders. He's on a tear. I mean, he had a huge fantasy day.
Yeah, he had a
2
huge
touchdowns.
fantasy game.
So they're on the ground right now. Waller was hurt. He might be back. I don't know next game, but I think the Saints it's ground and pound. I look at my crystal ball. I see 27-20 Saints. 27-20. Oh, there it is. 447.5.
Went it real close. making us sweat.
So I'm going
right.
that under the Raiders Saints.
I am going to the Tampa game. And I just don't have any faith in the Buccaneers right now.
Okay.
And I don't know that I should have a whole lot of faith in the Ravens. I mean, they got it done this past week. But I like the Ravens going into Tampa Bay -1.5. Like, just nice, simple, get a win by a field goal, touchdown. I just don't see it. It would be the same thing if this was Green Bay. Like, there's no offense. There is zero offense coming out of Green Bay and Tampa Bay, which is so crazy to me because weren't Rodgers and Brady like 1 and 2 last year in terms of yardage, QB? Like, it is mind-boggling to me that these teams are doing it. I don't think this week is like the turnaround week.
Sure.
So I'm taking Ravens -1.5 going into Tampa Bay.
Okay, I like that. I think Tampa is a disaster right now. I think what's the organization? FEMA. They're the ones that go to disaster zones. They're in Tampa right now. They're
in Tampa.
They're at the Bucs practice field. It's bad. It's bad. I'll give a caveat to this though, Jared, and it's fine because I liked it too. But this is a Thursday game. So we dropped the episode on Saturday. Do I need to throw it on my active Twitter account just so people can bet it?
I would let them know.
Okay.
Let them know that hey, this is coming out.
I got 28 followers that definitely care about this, so they will know that we took the Ravens.
Let them know. Let them know if they're locking in NFL with us. They need the Ravens.
They need the Ravens. Okay, all right.
I need the Ravens this week if I'm gonna go a win in fantasy.
Well, it's been proven that your tight end can have 1 carry for 4 yards and still win a fantasy matchup. So, which is so stupid. But let's not talk about the past here. Let's talk about the present. Let's talk about a team. Now I already know what your face is going to be because you are this. Although you did beat me this week in fantasy, you won the battle, but you may not win the war. And the New York Jets. Here in this matchup, I know they've lost their rookie running back, Jared. And
they have lost their rookie running back. They have.
Would you like a moment here?
I would like a moment. I was set. I was under the radar. I had Eckler and Hall. I had 2 top 6 running backs.
Yeah.
And then this happens.
I will say you did have a trade proposed to you that you declined.
I've thought about that.
That you could have taken.
I've thought about that.
But, whatever. So this is the Jets have done us really well this year in Benjamin Bets. I don't think we've lost on the Jets yet. New England, screw them. And so I'm taking Jets +1.5. Just go out there and win the game. And in fact, if you want to just say money line, I'm fine with that.
Money line, then. Let's go.
Okay. Money line it, baby. +110.
Right.
So there we go. They're Jets money line. They're going to win this game. In New England.
All about that.
I would do some alternate spread on this too. I would say Jets win by like 5. If we really wanted to get juicy.
Taking your little teasing powers.
Yeah, but that's up to you though. I mean, I'll leave that to you.
I'm not ready yet. I can't process all that.
Okay.
There's a tempting game to me in London. And Corey, I can't imagine this game. One, anybody wanting to come to this game, like they'd have to be there just for the booze to watch this game happen. Like this is gonna be ugly, ugly.
They're gonna be drinking out there, so
I would take the under if it was 20, maybe. I just can't. I can't imagine anything happening in this game.
Oh my gosh! So we're going under. Jacksonville Broncos.
I mean, do you see any reason for prolific offense to show up in this game?
Is Wilson playing? It looks like he says he's questionable.
That's his career right now. It should just have a Q next to it. Just questionable. Broncos questionable.
He is questionable. Okay, so I think he's gonna play. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
When you want to save money, check out The General. They're a quality car insurance company with great low rates, and they've been saving people money for nearly 60 years. Plus, they're super flexible. You can choose when and how you want to pay, whether it's cash, card, or check. So to get quality coverage at prices you can afford, call 1-800-GENERAL or visit thegeneral.com. The General Auto Insurance Services Incorporated, an insurance agency, Nashville, Tennessee. Some restrictions apply.
Welcome to Season 2 of The Outthinking Investor, an award-winning podcast from PGIM. We'll bring unique perspectives to the underappreciated challenges and overlooked opportunities, we'll speak with global thought leaders and PGIM experts to understand the current trends and forces reshaping global finance. Subscribe to PGIM's The Outthinking Investor today for these insights and more.
This podcast is intended solely for professional investor use. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results.
This episode is brought to you by 1923 on Paramount Plus. In Taylor Sheridan's new original series 1923, the Duttons confront challenges, including the end of the First World War, America's industrialization, and the start of the Great Depression. Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford star in the new original series 1923, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Head to ParamountPlus.com to try it free.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
And then Jacksonville. So did you know they your Jets replaced a running back? Did you see there was a trade?
No.
Well, so James Robinson, that other running back on Jacksonville,
Yes.
he has now been traded to the Jets. So he's their starting running back now to replace your guy.
Oh, God. I'm sure somebody already has him.
But yeah, I think he was owned. But my point being that ETN, the Clemson guy, he's now like the main back. So does that get the Jacksonville offense going, or does that make them more stall out a little bit?
I don't know. Like, I mean, Jacksonville put up 17 against the Giants this past week. My question is always the Broncos. Like, you have this weird anomaly in Denver that nobody can really score a lot of points against. Their defense is fantastic, but they don't do anything with it. They don't do anything with it.
No, they don't. You're right. And this could just be field goals for days. Maybe this is like 15 field goals against 4 or 12, 15 points, 12 points or something like that. I go with you. I think we took the under. I have a little PTSD from when I chose the Giants Packers under in London, and it screwed us. But those are different. Those are different times. These are different teams.
I just think it's going to be ugly. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe somebody gets hopped up on being in the UK and start listening to the Beatles, and I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen there. But every time I look at a Denver game, I'm like under.
I feel you.
So that's where I'm at.
All right, I'm with you. My next pick is not. I'm not gonna try to beat around the bush. It's a homer pick, and I'm riding the hottest team in the NFL outside of
the Giants,
outside of
the Eagles,
upstate New York, outside of upstate New York.
Don't say Seattle.
Give me them Hawks, baby. -3. Let's go. Go Hawks.
How do you not take the Giants, who are so hot, +3 going into this game?
No, you've been watching these Seahawks games. You see the highlights. It's something in the air. You smell that? There's turnovers. There's Geno being wily. We don't even need DK. Did you know he got hurt? We were talking about this earlier.
I didn't know he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt in the first quarter. That's why he didn't come back. So it was really sad. That's why he cost me my fantasy week. That Seattle -3. This should be taking candy from a baby.
I don't know. I don't know at all.
You want +3 Giants? That's what you're feeling.
I mean, but that's why do the odd makers keep giving it? Like, we got plus points against Jacksonville this week, and I understand that Seattle is not Jacksonville. They're much better than Jacksonville. But why keep giving this 6-1 team points going into these road games? Like, I don't understand. It feels simple, but I get it. I think they could beat them, but I don't know. The Giants just seem to have this really balanced attack going right now. Yeah. Daniel Jones is running. What? I don't know what's up with that. It's just this weird dynamic in New York right now.
I think you take surprise team versus surprise team. So now all of the stuff's out the window. Now this is an actual game. Okay. So now you got to break it down by the facts. You're in Seattle, so that's worth something. The Giants have to fly across the country, which maybe that's not a big deal anymore. But I mean, I know you haven't really flown those flights, but those Seattle to New York flights are like rough. They're they're long. That's like 2 movies right there. So I don't think they want to do that. It's an afternoon game, which maybe helps the Giants out a little bit, but I think this just feels normal. If this was Giants plus 3 against, a better team, San Francisco or something, I'd give me the Giants, and they'd probably be in the make the mortgage. But this feels like upstart versus upstart. I don't know. Give me Seattle -3.
All right. I might. This is going to be a really lame bet, and I know it, but I just want to get a W, and I want to win. I'm taking money line Buffalo home against the Packers at -500.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that on our show. I think I actually had the Packers +10.5.
No. You cannot put any faith in this pack. They just lost to Washington. Tampa just lost to Carolina. This is horrible. No, I wouldn't take it if they move the decimal point. Packers +105. No, give me the Bills. Heck to the no, man. I'm getting off. It's a trap. I'm getting off that game.
I'm telling you, there's some like, and we'll get into this in a little bit. NBA follows momentum. You can follow a team 5 to 10 games. That's their trajectory. NFL, man, it's like, oh, we haven't figured out. Next week, nothing. Like Packers, I think they will come in there motivated. They're going to figure it out. The Bills are like, we're going to roll this team. They suck. And watch Green Bay win this by 4. So I'm just saying, I think 10.5 is fine. I will. I'm not going to let you pick money line Bills. We can't do that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna throw Mike a bone, and I'm gonna take the Titans -1.5 at the Texans. That feels much safer.
Yeah.
I was between that and Miami at Detroit, but the Texans just suck. Goodness gracious, do they suck?
Yeah.
And Titans just have a way of winning these games by like 3 to 6 points, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I also had this highlighted, and to the point where I think there was a boo-boo made at FanDuel. So this will make an appearance and make the mortgage, Jared, because this is obscene.
It is obscene.
What did we not know? Did Derrick Henry go off to the moon? Like what? Why?
Well, then let's do this. I'm gonna take the Miami -3.5 going into Detroit.
Okay, you want to do that instead?
I want to take that, and then we'll rope the Titans into your mortgage if that works out.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Dolphins -3.5. Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna take Dolphins -3.5.
Okay, all right. So I like that, by the way, too. I think they're back. I think they're ginger with, is that even the word to say this? Like very careful with Tua.
Yeah, he's gingerly
with the man. But Detroit, besides their rookie Hutchinson, who's not quite ready to terrify me yet as a sack guy, I think no one's going to get to Tua from the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
got too many weapons. The defense is playing decent. Like,
yeah,
I think they go in there and make some noise. But I'm curious to hear where we're mortgaging, because are you 3-4 right now on the mortgage?
I'm telling you, Jared, it's bad, man. The Rocket Mortgage, they're up in the rates on me right now. We locked in at 3%, and now it's up to like 9%. And so I'm like, well, okay, I guess we need a house to live in. But so it's not great. But we're okay. We're okay. We still, and I think this is a important point to make, even though you're like, well, it's still a loss. I haven't lost on like each of the mortgage bets yet.
Absolutely not.
So there's something there. I hang my hat on that. This New England one wasn't even close, but I don't know what happened. Like, it was just a weird game. But we're just going to chalk it up to a weird loss. The Kansas City over wasn't even close. It was like 60-something points. So didn't help me in fantasy, but it was fine. So, okay, real quick recap before we dive into mortgage. So we got the Ravens -1.5.
Yep.
Thursday Night Football. We got under Denver, Jacksonville in London, 39.5 points. We got the under. This is the risky one, but I feel good about it. Raiders at Saints under 47.5.
That'd be a hot, like you can come in hot next week if that hits.
If we are hitting, okay, well, sorry, we keep going. Miami -3.5 against Detroit. And then we got the Jets, just straight win, money line, +110 against the stupid Patriots. Then we have Go Hawks, -3 points against the Giants. And that's our normal bets. Those are our 6 bets right there. So
I like it.
Wow, man, what a day it would be if we're going in to our last game, the only afternoon game, Seattle, and we're 5-0.
I'll be in knots. I'll be in knots that whole game.
Hit the parlay. What do we win there? Hold on.
Okay, hold on. I need to take off the Titans one real quick. 6-leg parlay wins us $546.97.
All right. So cool $500 right there.
Cool $500. But what's crazy is if you just add the Titans game as a 7th parlay, it jumps to over $1,000.
So are you going to throw it in there?
No, I want to hit one. And I think the Titans will, but I'm interested to hear what the other part of your teaser or other part of your teaser parlay is.
Okay. Well, let's. Sorry, I had to document it there. All right. We'll start with what we already know. Like I said, Tennessee -1.5. There's something we don't know. Clearly, there's something we don't know. Tannehill is maybe having issues at home. Derrick Henry, went on a trip. I don't know what is up with this game. But Houston, Pierce, their running back, he's good. They stay in games. Like if this was like +7, Houston is +5. I probably would have picked Houston.
That's what we fell for last week, though. We had Houston +7.
That game was depressing, though. Did you see? I don't know if you were watching that. Like Houston was up. Like they had that game. And then it just went into pick 6, big Jacobs touchdown. Like it just was not. We had it, and we
let them off the hook.
They are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook. So, give me Titans. Yes, 1.5. We're gonna tease that a little bit just to protect us. This other game, and I just hit the wrong button. I'm going under. I'm liking the unders right now. I'm a little jaded.
I think you got burnt. I think you have over trauma.
I'm jaded on overs right now. San Francisco at the Rams.
Oh,
I just don't. There's no way this game has a lot of points in it. I think the Rams offense is beyond broken. The Niners with McCaffrey, I will give them a week of practice and things like that. But I'm just not. I mean, Jimmy G, you can't score more than 23 points against Kansas City, who their defense is average, but they're just letting you. They're going to give you the ball 25 times. So you got to put up more than 23 points against a Kansas City team. So you couldn't even do that. This game, divisional game, a Sunday afternoon, it's going to be a grind. I think it's going to be just a grind, blah, blah, not big. Who's taking the top off here in this, Jared, besides Debo? Cooper Kupp.
Debo hasn't really done that a whole lot this year, to be completely honest. You're going to have Jalen probably shadowing him.
Yeah.
The only thing that will screw you is if they really get in sync with McCaffrey. But then I don't know. The San Francisco defense has looked like garbage.
Yeah.
These past 2 weeks, Atlanta exposed them, and yes, Kansas City exposes everybody. But we're gonna need a return to form in order to get this back.
They're gonna return to form right here. We're gonna make this a -120. Is what I'd like to do. That only wins us $25 from 30. But what I like is that it gives us the points. Well, you know what? No. We'll go +5. We're going to go +5. So we'll be -110. So $30 to win $27. That gets the Titans at +3.5. So it covers us on a field goal. And then the Niners, Rams under 47.5. I mean, that's so many points. There's just so many points.
That sounds right.
So
that sounds right.
47.5. I think it's a strategic chess match kind of game. 2 divisional opponents. They're both looking up to the mighty Seahawks in first place right now. So they have to come out.
Who apparently are going to stay in first place after this week.
And with a cool 500 in our pockets. So, that's making the mortgage. I apologize to everybody. You can, tell your mortgage lenders it's on me, but we're going to make it up. We have a lot of the season to go. And worst case scenario, jump on my Twitter feed and make some NBA bets with us. So, come on. What do you want from me?
What?
What?
Okay, well let's I'm gonna read it off one more time, and then I want to talk some NBA with you.
Okay.
Ravens -1.5 at Tampa. We're saying our London game, Denver and Jacksonville, is going to go under 39.5 in a wily jaded pick, which I don't know that I agree with, but I'm rooting for it now. Raiders and Saints under 47.5. Dolphins -3.5 traveling to Detroit, taking the Jets money line home against the Dum Patriots. Tennessee is riding as a part of our parlay with where we're going to tease that up to 3.5 and then tease the under in San Francisco at LA to 47.5. And then our last regular pick, the hometown picker, as a part of just our regular 6 bets this week, is Seattle laying 3 at home against the Giants. And those are our NFL picks for the week. I think it's going to be a good week. If I make it out, I bold prediction. If I make it out of this week with a win in fantasy, I'm making the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Who do you play this week in fantasy?
Playing Micah. I think we're both 4-3.
Okay.
And but I have 0 running backs right now, so that's why this is going to be a miracle weekend.
Micah's strong. He always comes at it strong.
He does.
He always puts a good team together.
He has a good looking team. I need a lot of help.
I'm still impressed.
Let's talk to the NBA.
Let's do it.
Really crazy start to the season.
Yep.
Just some highlights. The Lakers are trash.
Yep.
Brooklyn is not doing great. Philly is sucking wind. It is a lot of these teams that have been lock playoff teams for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Look really bad. But there's also been some surprises.
Yes.
And some unfortunate things happening. One of those things that you've been betting consistently is the Blazers.
Yeah.
And the Blazers, I think, haven't needed the points yet, and they keep laying points to them.
Yeah. I'm giving the lovely better out there like really good juice here. Like they could be taking the Blazers, don't even need the points. Just give me the money line win. They'd be making so much money right now. I am here to give you a roadmap to a solid win to make your mortgage, whatever that needs to be. Like, we're not gambling here. This is just surefire. This is what's going to happen. Take it from there if you want. If you want to make it more enticing, start doing player props, get, Anthony Simons maybe dropping 22 points in a quarter. What was those odds? I don't know. You would have made a lot of money. So I that's where I'm more your guide, if you will, in this. So you can adjust these things if you want, but you're right. I mean, we haven't really needed the points in any of the Blazers games for sure.
No.
But the odds makers are just asking us to take those games because the lines have been a little obscene, I think.
They have. And it's like we were talking about, as Portland continues to win, they're going to start. So this is honestly, if you're listening in time, this is the time to get on teams that had predictions at the beginning of the year that were supposed to be poor. San Antonio is another one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason they should be 3-1 right now.
Yeah,
no reason. And Vegas is laying points to them right now against some decent teams.
Yeah.
And I know you've been riding them. You've had some Cavs bet. You've liked the Cavs in a lot of matchups.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to ask you is, apart from Portland, which I think you would be betting if they were, 10-72 by the end of the season, who do you like this upcoming week as you look at matchups? And then obviously pay close attention to the Rogue Coco Twitter to get those picks in daily. But who do you like? Who do you like going forward?
Rogue Coco. Wait, can I say 2 things before I say it moving forward?
Yeah.
I only have 6 followers, not 28. That's my fault. So hop on my Rogue Coco. I need you. I need some followers.
There's money to be made with Rogue Coco right now.
There's money. They're just laying on the floor. You just got to pick it up. What are you doing? And to be fair, so we were betting these same style last season too. Now, we weren't big time and have our own podcast back then, but I was picking against the Blazers because we were not good. Like, we were terrible. Like, we were trying to tank. So I didn't even know the team. Every night it was a new G League guy. And we'd be like playing, Golden State, and we'd be like -9 or +9. I was like, oh, like we're gonna get blown up by 40. What are we doing? So I was picking against my team, and it was true. I mean, we weren't even close in any of those games. So it's not as much of a homer, is that I just know the most about this team, so I can like look at a matchup and say, oh, I think this is. We're getting points here. Let's do it. Or, oh, man, we're not playing well, but Vegas doesn't know that yet. So bet against it. So that's more what it is. That's just clarification.
That's fair. That's totally fair. So what are you riding? I know there's a lot of games this week. We don't want to get into every single one, but
sure.
Big picture, what are you looking for this week? What do you think is going to be affecting what you're picking on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think you're going to see me pick Milwaukee probably the whole week. I just think I think they're strong. And they're 2-0. They haven't played many games yet. Like I think they've played the least amount of games. There's one, someone's 1-1. I forget who it is, but I like Milwaukee this week. I know they don't have Chris Middleton yet. So what that's doing is Vegas is adjusting. So they're giving them more points, but I don't think they play worse in the regular season without him. Now, playoff Bucks, yes. If you're going to win the title, you need Chris Middleton. But I think in regular season, Giannis will just steamroll you. The Bucks they're not game planning. Other teams don't game plan. So I like Milwaukee this week. And I know this team screwed me and cost a perfect week. But the Jazz lost last night to the Rockets.
Oof.
And I think the descent begins. I think 3-0 was like a, hey, from the Utah people, we can win if we want, but we're now going to lose. So it's like we showed you we know basketball and we can put a ragtag team out here, but now we understand really what makes a good franchise, so we're going to tank. So I think Utah comes back to earth, which is nice because I think lines have shifted now because, they're 3-1 or they're 3-0. But so you're going to get some value on Utah. I'm going to go against the Jazz as we progress through this week. As you'll see, throw some goodies out there. Teams to avoid. The Clippers are still. I don't trust the Clippers. I know we want to bet with them against the Lakers, but just because it's the Lakers, I just don't know. They have a great team, but who's playing? How many minutes are they playing? All that stuff, I think it's tough to gauge on like a Clipper team that's clearly like looking at the playoffs. They're just like, I just got to get through the regular season. So, and then of course Portland. We're gonna see how lines shift here. I don't know. We play Miami on Wednesday. The Heat have been a weird team too. I've been tempted to take Miami, but they just haven't played very well. So let's see how the Blazers look this week too. But that's always going to be something I'm keeping an eye on. And then you mentioned Cleveland. They don't have Garland back yet. He had like an eye injury, but Donovan Mitchell is a man on a mission. I think he wants to prove, I think that he can carry a team, and they built a nice team around him. So I still like Cleveland this week as well. So we'll see how things adjust. This is why NBA bets are done. I do the Twitter and then we talk about them because there could be an injury. Evan Mobley gets hurt. Something weird happens and then this throws everything off. But those would be the teams I'm looking at. I think you're looking at Cleveland, look at Milwaukee, and then look at the Jazz, maybe take a step back. So that's kind of where my eyeballs are.
And just a hot take from the outside, just continue to bet against James Harden and Philly. It is a train wreck of epic proportions in Philadelphia, and there's some safe money to be made there as well. Corey still continues to believe that they're going to make some crazy playoff run. I just don't see it, man. That's
all they need. They just need the playoff run. And if we want to do a futures update, the Pelicans look good. Then they lost their two. Ingram and Zion went out, which
that's heartbreaking, man. That's heartbreaking.
It sucked. I don't think they're season ending, right? But it's still they're hurt.
Zion is a player that needs momentum right now because he hadn't played.
I know he needs to get in games. I still am behind the win the division bet. They're going to be in the mix. San Antonio, I think same thing. My same logic applies to San Antonio that it does with Utah. I think Pop was like, look. If you want me to push, I could win some games. So here I'm going to start 3-0 or 2-1 or 3-1. What are we now? 3-1 with San Antonio. I think he's still smart though. He's still the best coach, smartest coach. He isn't going to take some step backs. I know 22.5 under 22.5. We're kind of getting threatened already with 3 early wins, but we're going to take some step backs with San Antonio. But last night was just a great. I mean, man, if you took the bet last night, we had plus 14.5 with San Antonio, and we had plus 10 with Portland.
Yeah, you weren't losing those bets,
and both
You're not
won
gonna
the
lose
other
those
way.
bets.
Oh my gosh! I wonder if you had San Antonio minus 10 and Portland minus 10. Gee, we might have made a fortune. I don't even know.
Might have made a mortgage,
like a real mortgage. We might have been able to buy a house. Like, I don't know. That would have been wild. But you know what? We play it safe. That's all. That's what this show's about. So, but yeah, man, that's the recap. I'm having fun with it. It's been good. Ellis, my son, does not know how it feels to experience a Portland Trailblazers loss yet in his life, which I love that. The little kid, I tried to tell him it's not always like this. I told him last night. He was half paying attention to me. His eyes were closed. He was sleeping. But I said, it's not always like this. There will be loss. There's going to be injury, but enjoy it for now. So
I think I can foresee your son writing like his memoirs and just as like a young man, like, yeah, there were nights and I didn't understand where my dad was just angry and or sad. And it wasn't until I was an older man that I realized the correlation between it and the Portland Trailblazers. And I remember the birthday that I got the most was when the Blazers won the championship. And so I just subconsciously wanted them to continue winning. It'll be something like that.
And then every year I just got a card. All the other years was just a card. No present.
Just a card.
Yeah. All right. Want to give us a quick LCS update before we wrap?
Yes. Semifinals this weekend. I'm really actually upset about this. They're in Atlanta. And that's not far from me.
Oh, it's so close. Yeah.
It's so close. I really want to go, but it's just not in the cards. So I'll be watching. But what's super interesting about where we're at right now with League of Legends is the 4 teams that are left are the 4 1 seeds that were coming out of group play. So every 2 seed lost. Wow. And man, let me tell you, were there some games this week. 2 went to 5 in just epic. One was a reverse sweep.
Oh,
it was the Gen G Dom 1 Gaming is one of the best 5-game series I've ever seen. And I was screaming in game 5 in my house. And my wife was like, what is wrong? And I was just hyped. Like, it was just really high level League of Legends being played, and it was exciting.
Yeah.
And then the big news is DRX, the 4 seed from Korea, reverse sweeping the last year's world champions, EDG.
Wow.
Just crazy.
What?
Absolutely crazy. So what that